What it do, y'all? It's your boy Fierro Boy 86, and I'm back with another video. Now, today's video, I'm gonna be talking about all the different types of Corvair engines and Corvair cars. If you rocking with this channel, please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Also, follow me on Instagram at Fierro Boy 88. Now, my YouTube channel is gonna end up being Fierro Boy 86. Please like, subscribe, share, and also follow me on Instagram. Thank y'all. All right, so the types of engines that are in Chevrolet Corvairs, the engines are just like VW. So whenever you get ready to look at a VW, it's the same exact thing. It's just only the VW is standing up and the Chevrolet Corvair is sitting down, like laying down, or pancake engine, or however you want to say it. Now, when it comes down to different mods, or when it comes down to like different engine sizes, it really depends on the person, or what you want, or what they want, or what I want. It don't really depends on the car itself, because there's all different types of levels of engines that are in Corvairs, which are 5. And so whenever you get ready to look at it, you have to really start from the beginning. So like the beginning is 1959, which you rarely see those cars. Those cars going to be up there at the museum in Michigan. Okay. When you start going into the 60s, so like be 60 through like 69, you're going to always see those. Now, depending on driver or people who wants a Corvair, or people who likes a Corvair, like myself, or who is also an entrepreneur for the Corvair, you know, that right there is me. So if you got any questions, drop down in the comment section about Chevrolet Corvairs, you know, because they are the real game changer. If you want to be, you know, questionnaires or anything, they are the game changer. You know, I don't really understand the reason why a lot of folks really don't pay attention to those, because those are the ones that really win car shows. You know, I done had plenty of buddies go home with at least 4 or 5 trophies. And it wasn't just Corvair shows. It was full on, you know, full on car shows. Dodge Chargers, Challengers, Mustangs, you know, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Battle Airs, whatever. And they still won trophies. So don't be afraid to try out a Chevrolet Corvair, or don't read what's on the internet. Because on the internet, that right there are just people who don't really know anything about a Corvair. They kind of like of a following type thing. You know, take it from a real person like myself who actually works on the Corvairs, or who actually drive Corvairs, or who actually can help you find a Corvair. You know, take it from me, because a lot of people, you know, they see things on the internet, just like with Punek Fierros. They see a lot of things on the internet, but they don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? They just saying it because the next man said it. And really, you know, it should not be like that when you start talking about Chevrolet Corvairs, because they are one of the best Chevrolets ever made. You know, and I am going to get to that here in a second. Okay, so when you start talking about engines, it starts at 80 horsepower and it goes all the way up to 250 horsepower. Now, when you start talking about 80 horsepower, that right there is usually going to be in early models, which up here in the right-hand corner, or left-hand corner, you know, this right here is going to end up being a early model. And then when you look up here again in the corner, this right here is going to end up being a late model. Now, when it comes down to engines, Chevrolet Corvair engines all look similar. It's not, it's like, it's not really a change, but you'll notice the changes when you go from early to late. You'll notice the changes on the engine It just looks the same. So, like when I had my 1963 Chevrolet Corvair 700, which is up here in the corner, it was an 84 horsepower, which that right there was exclusively for 700s. Now, when it comes down to Monzas, when it comes down to 500s, when it comes down to 700s, when it comes down to base models, 500 in the late model or anything, they're going to always come with low compression horsepower. So it just really depends on what you're looking for. Because like with me, my next Corvair is going to be 110 horsepower, which is going to end up being a later model engine. Now, the difference is in the engines are, you would notice a little bitty notch that's by the fan belt on the later models, and earlier models don't have that. Now, when you start talking about 64, which is the later early model, they do have that because they actually had 110 horsepower engines in some 64s. And those right there is considered as Monzas. Now, also, there's a lot of changes when it comes from early model to late model. There's a lot of changes as far as body wise, as far as engine wise, as far as, like the way the car sit, the way the car drives and everything. There's a lot of differences when it comes down to early and late. Now, when it comes to high compression or race engines, they normally use Porsche parts, or you can also use VW parts, depending on how fast you want to go, depending on if you want it to be track only. You could do a lot of mods on the Chevrolet Corvair engine. So like for instance, I know a few racers that's in our community that actually use the Porsche fan, which is, at the top. If you ever look at the Porsche fan, that right there is like that, like the twirling fan that's on the fan belt. And so a lot of racers in the Corvair community actually use that. And I know 2 or 3 of them. And so you could do that, or you can also put bigger jugs that VW has. If you can find some, I would say buy them and bore them out, because that right there is going to give you a lot of compression in your engine, a lot, to where you run all day and don't even have to worry about nothing. Now, when it comes down to the internet, they always talk about the Corvair wrong. And what I mean by that, they catch on fire. Why nobody can't work on it? This and that, or etc, or however you want to say it. In my opinion, if you take it to the wrong person, what are you expecting? Are you expecting for people to know what they're doing? No. That's why you have to come talk to me, or come talk to a few of the people in the Corvair community, so we can help you or show you ways of being able to do your engine without it catching on fire, or or without it messing up on compression or anything, or having leaks or anything. You have to come talk to us, so then we can help you do what you have to do with the engine, Okay. So now we're going to talk about 84 horsepower. Now, 84 horsepower, like I was saying earlier in the video, 84 horsepower is normally a 700, but I have seen them in a few Monzas. Now, when I have seen an 84, it was probably like maybe a 62 Monza, or maybe a 63 Monza. And it just really depends on, you know, on the person or the person who bought it. You can have any size engine in your Corvair. It really don't even matter, you know. Okay. And so next we're going to talk about 95 horsepower. Now, 95 horsepower is kind of like in the middle of the 80 and the 110. So you do get a little bit more power than you do with the 84 or the 80, but it's still not like enough power like if you're doing 110 plus. You know, you still going to be getting your good compression. You still going to be getting, you know, like the good gas mileages and things like that with the Chevrolet Corvair. And so with that, now we're going to end up talking about the 110 horsepower. Now, 110 horsepower is one of your better engines. So they have really modified this engine. They really made sure that this engine was good. And also, they made sure that this engine was long lasting. Now, usually with 84 horsepower, 80, 95, those are wonderful engines. Very good engines. And I don't take nothing from them. But if you're talking about having a Chevrolet Corvair, I would really say go with 110 horsepower. Because that right there is one of the best ones outside of the next engine that I'm about to talk about. And if you're talking about, you know, doing different things, the 110 comes in handy, you know, as far as, you know, what you can do with it, you know. All right. So the next engine is going to end up being 140 horsepower. So the first 4 engines I just got done talking about are all 2-carb engines. So what that right there means, so you have one on the driver's side and you have one on the passenger side. Now, what actually drives the car is a timing, like a timing, I call it a timing stick. That's what I call it. You know, and the reason why I say that is because that right there is what makes the car move, you know. Now, back on top, I'm sorry. Now, with the 140 horsepower, that is one of the top of the line engines. So when you start talking about an engine that has very high compression, that you can race with, that you can, you know, go to car shows and cruise with, that right there is the engine that I would say buy. Now, with my dream car, which is a 1966 Chevrolet Corvair Corsa, which Corsa actually comes with 2 engines. So it comes with either 180 horsepower turbo, or it comes with 140 horsepower 4 carburetors, which you actually have 2 carburetors on each side. Now, I know probably in people's minds out there, they'll probably be, oh my God, why you need 4 carburetors? Well, in Corvair terms, we use that for power more so, because it gives the car a lot of power, you know, almost V8 type deal, you know. Now, we're going to start talking about the racing engines. Now, racing engines, I think you have 4 different racing engines, I believe. I think it's about like 4. So you have 200, I think you have 220, and I think 250, and I think 280, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And so with 200 to 280, those are the ones that are track only. So when you start seeing people on some vlogs that be racing a Corvair, they usually going to be between 180 to 280, depending on what they have done to the Corvair, or depending on what they have done to the engine, bored it out, added more compression to the car, doing different things like that. So drop down in the comment section if you are looking to buy a Chevrolet Corvair, or if you are interested in a Chevrolet Corvair. I want to hear y'all answers, because being a Corvair guy, I feel so much better as being anything else. I feel so much better because I know that a lot of people won't have my car at the car show, and I know that I can be very competitive, and so that right there is the thing that I like about the Chevrolet Corvair, because it's different. Not like too many people know about it, which, I'm talking to y'all about it right now, so y'all can go check it out, or y'all can go buy one, or y'all can go review one. And I really feel that y'all will actually like it. If y'all actually seen the Chevrolet Corvair in person, or actually seen one at a car show, or if you have, or if you haven't, I would say go find one and review it. Because that right there is the car that actually made Chevrolet what it is. Now, I know like a lot of folks, they're gonna probably say, oh man, that car's slow, you don't want that, and really, they don't really understand that the Chevrolet Corvair actually has 10 to 12 models, depending on what you're looking for. So they have a 4-door sedan, they have a 2-door coupe, they have a 4-door station wagon, they have a ramp side, which is a truck that have a ramp on the side. They have a load side, which actually the back come down. Like if you like looking at like a regular Chevrolet pickup, the back actually comes down by itself with no side panel. They have convertibles, they have hard tops, they have late models, they have convertibles, hard tops, they have racing cars. They have a lot of cars that you can choose from. You don't have to just do the car that I had, which is a coupe. If you want to drive your family around, you can do a 4-door. If you do want to drive, by yourself, you can get a 4-door. You can get a coupe. They all look good. There ain't no Corvair out there is better than the other one. It's just some are rarer than other ones. Like my car. My car was actually rare because you rarely see a 700. You'll probably, every now and then, you'll probably see a 500, or you'll probably see, a ramp side pickup, or you'll probably see, a late model 500, but you will rarely see a 63 700 coupe, And so, also some other rare Corvairs. So like the other rare Corvairs, like the racing cars, so like the Yenko Stingers, Yenko Stinger clones, those are super rare because a lot of folks don't have them, because those right there are the ones that, that's up there in price, 60, 70,000, depending on, who's selling it, they can sell it for 50,000, 40,000. Now, I am going to tell y'all this, Corvairs are easy to work on and they are easy to build. Those are probably like some of the best Chevrolet cars to build. If you want to talk about spending money, you won't even have to spend a lot of money on the Chevrolet Corvair, because a lot of the stuff is kind of like easy. You don't have to worry about looking into the manual, trying to figure out what's going on. On some things, you do have to look in the manual, and then you have some things that you don't have to. And so definitely try to see if you get yourself a Chevrolet Corvair, because I tell you, whenever you gotta go to car shows, you're gonna be different. Whenever you ready to go to different places, you're gonna be different. A lot of folks is not gonna expect for you to pull up in a Chevrolet Corvair. They're gonna expect for you to pull up in everything else but that. Because once again, a lot of folks don't know. And so that's why I'm kind of putting out the word about it. Because, that right there is like one of your better cars, and I'm kind of sad because I wish the Chevrolet would actually bring the Chevrolet Corvair back, you know, especially into this century, since it is a mid-engine, rear-engine car. You know, I forgot to say, Chevrolet Corvairs can also be made into mid-engines. So by that, you have to build either a Kevlar or a Crown conversion kit. You know, and so you can actually build a mid-engine, you can build a front engine, or you could build a back engine, you know, like what the original air-cooled engine was. You know, if that right there is what you desire, you know. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, and share. Also follow me on Instagram at FierroBoy88. This right here is my YouTube channel at FierroBoy86. Thank y'all very much for tuning in, and I'm out.